Chan. And good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Jenny Cleveland podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network. It is a Wednesday evening, August 27th, I believe, and we have a special guest tonight on the Jenny Cleveland podcast. I love having Harold on the show. Harold and I have known each other for a few years now, and he does many things. Also works on radio programming. I'll let Harold explain what that's all about, and have had an opportunity to join him on a few Saturdays over the past few seasons and years. So, welcome, Harold, to the show. How are you?
Good, John. How you doing, sir?
Oh, it's a Wednesday. It's the beginning of the school season. I love I'm a lifelong educator,
Mm-hmm.
and so we started. I Many people know on my show that I um, work over at Licking Heights, and we started a few weeks ago with the kids, and so we're having fun getting started. So it's been busy.
Nice.
This is Harold. This is year 34 for me.
Wow.
I know.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, people that I know, all of us. You've gone through your career. I'm sure that people are retiring, and it's like it's getting harder to. It's like, okay, how many more years am I going to be doing this? So, so I enjoy talking to you, Harold. He has a program. You want to tell people what you do on Saturday mornings?
Well, Voice Corps is a nonprofit radio station that caters to the visually impaired, and they have programming 24 hours a day, and most of it is taped. Readers come in and they read from various magazines or publications on topics. So each show has a theme, but they do have a series of live programming. Every day, a couple of people come in to read the Columbus Dispatch, and then on Saturdays we do a live sports talk show, which, quite frankly, at this point has been the longest running sports talk show in Central Ohio. So I'm proud to be a part of it. Been doing that for 32 years, I think.
Wow,
I think
wow.
yes. Well, since
I started
'93, I think.
93. Okay, so I started teaching in 92. So yeah, 30. Yeah,
Yeah.
wowzers.
I don't know where that time went, but we're still having fun.
Had you
Uh,
always been part of radio prior to that? Like even like over the years, have you done other radio?
Lord no.
Because Harold has the greatest radio voice. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I mean, it's amazing.
Well, well, I appreciate that, sir. Bless you. No, I had no previous experience in radio until the radio station. So
Okay.
now, after
Well, it's
32 years, I still don't know whether I'm experienced or not, but I've done it for a while.
people love your show, and it's an honor to be part of that and to be helping in the community. I just they're the folks that work there too. What is the colleague that works there? I need to get him on our show. What he does the board?
Chuck Adkins is
Chuck
our producer.
Atkins.
Chuck is not sighted, so he you know he's a pro at what he does, and he's been in radio for years, and he knows everybody, and he loves sports, as you know. So
He
yeah,
loves
he would be
joke
a great
telling
guest for
too.
your show.
He loves the jokes.
Yeah, yeah. Chuck should be a he should be at the comedy club doing some one-liners. He's very good,
I
but
need
he's
to
good
get
at
him
what he
on.
does.
He loves like the stats of things. He just can baseball, all of that.
Yeah,
Really cool.
yeah.
I
He
gotta get that.
absorbs it all.
Got to get that contact from him from you before long here, so I can have him on as a guest. We are part of Fans First Sports, and we are the Fanatical Elves Network. You can listen to us on Apple, on Spotify, anywhere you listen to your podcasts. And thank you, shout out to Hemisphere Coffee Roasters, who also support us. So go over to our X page, click on the link, and you would be supporting us with 15% that goes toward our Fanatical Elves Network. So thanks. Harold,
Let
I
me
know
ask you,
you are.
John, if you don't mind,
Yes.
down at the radio station, I can always get two or three people in to co-host the show with me,
Yes.
as you have been in to do quite a number of times. So if you have any of your listeners that might be interested in coming down and playing on the radio for a little while, we'd love to have them come down one Saturday.
That's a great invite. Yeah, anybody that is listening right now that you are here in the area, um, here it's a great program. So if you have a Saturday free, you can contact us here on the Fanatical Elves. You can contact me on my X page, or you can contact Harold. Harold, you have got an X page too, right?
Uh, a, a Twitter X page?
Yeah, Twitter. Do you have that?
Yeah, I'm rarely on there, but yes, I do. You're going to ask me what
Well,
it is now, aren't you?
we can no, it's all good. We can get that contact if anybody contacts us. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. We love to have newcomers come down, new voices.
That's good. That's good. Um, okay, so the Brownies season is around the corner. This is primarily a Browns podcast here, but we're gonna delve into the Buckeyes chatter and the Texas chatter here in a moment. But because Harold is a huge Buckeye fan, but I know Harold has also been a Browns fan, and on occasion has made it up to Cleveland over the years to a few games. And your whole I mean, I know you don't follow the team as closely as I do, but with this whole summer and with the quarterback competition, what were your overall thoughts on that? Are you happy with Joe Flacco going into the season starting?
Joe is solid. And after watching him in this last game, I'm all in, buddy.
Okay.
I'm all in. Let's go. He
Flacco
knows what he,
mania.
huh?
Flacco mania.
There you go. He knows what he's doing. And given the protection and everything, I'm confident that he could at least keep us in it because Kevin Stefanski, I think, is one of the most underrated coaches out there. He can take a little bit and make a little something out of it. And I think over the years, even though he hasn't had a solid quarterback situation, he's had some pretty decent football teams. The only thing missing was the quarterback. So if they can
It's
get some
always
good
been
play
that way,
out of him,
right? Yeah.
hmm, yeah,
It's always been that way.
yeah. So if he can get some good quarterback play out of him consistently, we'll be okay.
Well, you think too, like the last time that Flacco was playing with us, he had the that series of games that was tremendous, and they he threw for over 300 yards, I think, in four straight games,
Hmm.
and it'll will be good. Hopefully, we can keep him healthy. Are you concerned at all about Flacco staying healthy? Because the last 4 or 5 seasons, he's only made it 6 to 8 games.
You, that's always a concern, particularly with somebody older like he is.
Very
But
old.
that's when whoever the next guy is has to step up and get it done.
Do you so how do you feel now about this Dylan Gabriel first? They announced him as the number 2 quarterback. The rookie, the kid that from Oregon, is now the backup. So did you get to see any highlights or watch any of the games,
I did,
especially?
especially the game that he started. I thought
Yes.
he was very impressive in that game. Very impressive. Now, granted, you're not going against the ones the whole time, but I
Yeah.
think for the most part, they're looking to see what they do under certain situations, even though the ones may not be out there, or even
Hmm.
though you may not be playing against the ones. It's all about decision making. Did he make the right decision, even if the play didn't work? And I can't help but wonder if that's what they actually look for. And it looks like he was making the right decision every time he dropped back.
Do you think the benefit of him having 5 or 6 years at the collegiate level, Central Florida, Oklahoma, finished at Oregon, has helped all of that decision making? Because I say this because we're comparing him to the other rookie quarterback the Browns drafted, Shador Sanders. Do you see that being the basic advantage right now that Dylan Gabriel has?
I heard one of the talking heads on TV the other day uh, comparing him with Bo Nix, who was in the Oregon system.
Yes.
And when you talk about a system like that, where the quarterback or the offensive coordinator or whoever it is has this system that can get a quarterback ready for that type of play effectively, then I like what I've seen in him. And I don't think it's any mistake that he's able to do it since Bo Nix was able to do it. Because Bo Nix stepped into Denver last year and looked pretty impressive as a rookie.
He did.
Yeah.
Do you, like when I think of Dylan Gabriel, though, I go back to when he was playing at Oklahoma, and then the last 2 seasons, I think, or at Oregon at least. And I was just like, even building up to the games when they played Ohio State, especially last year, I was not like overly scared of Dylan Gabriel. So do you feel like Dylan Gabriel could be a franchise quarterback, or do you see him like as that number two guy, as a lifetime backup potentially, or do you think that he could actually be that guy?
When you say lifetime quarterback, I think there are different tiers. There are
Yeah.
quarterbacks that can make things happen, that can win a game for you, like a Mahomes, like Joe Burrow.
Hmm.
And then there's a level of quarterbacks like a Kirk Cousins. He probably won't win you a game, but he can be consistent for 15 or 20 years.
Yeah.
And I think right now it looks like he might fall into that category. So
I kind of agree with that. I don't see him as um I don't know. I could see him winning some games and
mhm.
being consistent, and his pinpoint accuracy really showed up. I was impressed, especially even in the last game when he came in after Flacco. Everything that he was doing. I mean, he made a couple things here and there that weren't great, but I felt better about him after watching him through the second game as well. And so, okay, so that leads me to the other question, because Shador Sanders was the fifth round pick of the Brownies
But
and has had the spotlight out on him his whole entire career, with primetime being his dad and all. I'm anxious to hear what you have to say about Shador, because I've been a Shador fan since the Browns drafted him, and there are a lot of Shador fans out there. Not all of them are Browns fans. Let's start with that. But Shador has done a lot of things over the last few months, building up into this where he's at right now, especially coming into Cleveland, working in the community. There's a lot of positive things out there. But when he played this last game, he was kind of coming off of a little bit of an oblique injury. He looked just god awful. I don't know if you saw any of the highlights of that, but he reverted back to a lot of bad habits. I know that we've talked about that before with some of my other colleagues. Shador isn't going anywhere. He's selling more jerseys for the Browns than any other, rookie
mhm.
out there. He's very popular. Do you see the upside that we've talked about this on our podcasting here? Do you think that Shador's upside can overtake like Dylan Gabriel's upside, and eventually he could be that franchise quarterback? And do you see him as being like a Patrick Mahomes or somebody like that eventually, or do you think that's too much to ask right now?
I don't know that you can turn into a Patrick Mahomes type player. You either have it or you don't. You I've seen too many times where we see guys come in and we say their ceiling is here, but most of them never reach that ceiling.
Hmm.
So they might improve somewhat, but they'll never make it there because there's only a handful of them anyway. So
Yeah.
if you don't have it now, I don't think you're getting to that level. I had a talk with my brother last week,
Yes.
and he was talking about the conspiracy theories that people have, where the same line for Shador was not the same line for Dylan Gabriel and that kind of thing. One of the things I tried to do in this past game was chart the five guys on the line each time those guys were at quarterback. And
Oh, okay.
for the most part they were the same. There were a couple of changes here and there later on into the game. Of course, that was
Interesting.
Shador's time, but for the most part, at least three of them were the same that Dylan Gabriel had. But one of the things he was talking about was, did he have enough to impress the coaches enough to keep him on the team? And my thought to him was, when I talk about assessing and making the right play,
Yes.
you cannot go under center or a shotgun, see the rush coming, and run back 15, 20 yards trying to get away from them. That's a negative play to the utmost.
Right.
A better decision is to throw it away or run out of or something. He didn't do any of that. So when I look at his decision making skills and the negative plays, he was sacked 42 times last year in college.
Hmm.
Some of that may be on the line, yeah, but it's some of that's on you. You got to
It
know how to
is.
get rid of the ball. So that he's carrying that baggage with him, and until they find a way to get him over that, I don't know that he's going to improve on that. And the other thing is, I
Okay.
watched his body language.
Yes.
Now, granted, when you do a lot of negative plays or not positive plays, you're going to get down a little bit. But I didn't care for his body language
Me
Saturday.
neither.
It was as if his head wasn't in the game or something.
totally agree with you, Harold. We talked about it after the game in our post game show. Steve Gill and I talked about it, and that body language. I mean, it was very reminiscent of a Deshaun Watson. Just I know it wasn't the same player, but there are some things that were really poor there. And considering this, and I don't think it's all fake. I don't think that off the field and everything that Shador is saying and doing is just for the cameras. I really don't. But yeah, I agree. What happened on in that moment on the field of play on Saturday was just it really was quite a contrast from
Right.
everything that we've been fed for a couple months about him.
Mm.
And I'm anxious to see how that goes. You talked about Patrick Mahomes for a second, and we've talked about quarterbacks and stuff over the years. Patrick Mahomes sat, right? Didn't he that first year when he got with the Chiefs? He didn't play. He sat behind whoever was the head.
Alex Smith, I believe it was, wasn't
Yeah, for a whole year.
it? Yeah.
And you just wonder if Shador can absorb everything and maybe not play. I know some people are saying, well, we got to put him out there to see what he's worth, or the Browns are going to be trying to draft another quarterback next draft.
Yeah.
And
And that's
so,
true. That's true.
yeah,
You can't have two quarterbacks in camp now. That might be the answer, but if you don't give them the chance to find out, you're fishing again next year, and you can't do that.
but do the Browns? I mean, the fact that they have two quarterbacks right now, I've been arguing that this debate's been going on for a while. The fact that they have the two quarterbacks, why can't you just like if you have Dylan Gabriel, let's say, play and Shador doesn't get in, what's for why are we being forced? Why is the team being forced to find another quarterback when potentially? I mean, I don't know. I don't agree with the philosophy that you just have to see both of them. I mean, I want to see both of them, but I don't see it necessarily why you have to see both of them this year. When give like if Shador is not ready, just give him a year. But why then? Obviously, then you haven't seen him play in a real game. I'm just going back to what I've seen happen with some of these other quarterbacks. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes, he sat out a year. I know the situation is different, but I don't know. I'm just not real gung ho on this idea that the Browns have to draft another quarterback and that necessarily those quarterbacks are better because there's been a lot of talk about that too, Harold, that these quarterbacks that were in this draft were not very good. Do you, I mean, we can't really assess that until we see them play, right? I mean,
Right. And that's the catch 22 with this whole process when you talk about decision making at that level. We need to see what we have, but we don't have enough snaps to see them well enough to know what we have. But
right.
we have these two draft picks next year that we can take advantage of if they don't pan out. But we don't know if they're going to pan out if we don't give them enough snaps. So I don't
Yeah.
know what the answer is there. I know the one thing we don't take into consideration as fans, they see those guys in the workroom, in the study room, on the practice field.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're supposed to be doing as opposed to what they end up doing to know whether it was right or wrong, good or bad. So they have much more to assess than we know. And you have to hope they see it all and make the right decision.
You like Kevin Stefanski. You think that he's been undervalued for years in
I
your
do.
estimation, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe this year, I mean, we can have some healthy quarterbacks, but history says that the Browns go through quarterbacks pretty quickly. So, um, are you like just based on what happened last year? We were 3-14, but the year before we ended up 11-6. Are you in on this team? There, for example, Vegas has them winning no more than 5 or 6 games this season. Do you are you in that category? You feel like it's going to be around there? Do you think potentially with this really strong defense that the Browns seem
I
to
was
have?
somewhat surprised they were as good as they were the year before. I was
Mm,
somewhat surprised they were as bad as they were last year. And the quarterback situation had a lot to do with last year. DTR had no business on the team as a start. I mean, we saw enough of him the year before, and I don't think it was enough to keep him on. I like him, but it
sure.
was obvious I didn't see enough, to me anyway,
Well, in
enough
that Eagles
improvement.
game in the preseason just now, it was terrible. He did
Yeah,
terrible for. He got cut too. I think
I
he's
believe
still
he
out
did.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
where do
I
you
don't
think
know
this?
what
Yeah.
I don't know what to think this year. They made so many decisions that are questionable, and I'll even include the Quinshawn Judkins pick because I like Travion Henderson a lot better. If for no other reason, he's a
Right.
game breaker.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people look at Quinshawn as a bruising back and Travion as a faster scat type back, but Travion's a physical player.
Yes.
So he could have provided the same type of thing that Quinshawn did.
It was, yeah, because they had the choice. They could have taken either one.
Exactly. Yep.
And now we're waiting for Quinshon Judkins. I'm hearing that the deal is close to being done. I heard that again this morning that they are in negotiations, but then there's this other part that says that the NFL is still
Yeah.
investigating.
Yeah.
So,
Detrimental. Is that what it is?
yeah, yeah. So I
Now
don't know.
here's the question though. Since he wasn't signed, can they get him for that?
Can they get him for what do you mean?
It,
Oh,
it,
for the
it if
contract
there's an
detrimental because
NFL
he's not
player that
signed.
could suspend you for
Yeah,
conduct detrimental,
you wonder, like if they're waiting for him to do that and then they'll prescribe the punishment. I don't know.
well, I'm
I
saying
mean, my
since it happened and he wasn't a signed player, can they
right,
punish him that way? I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I don't know either. It's got everybody asking lots of questions like we're doing right here. So,
Yeah.
it's now we've been dealing with this Deshaun Watson situation for years, and so coming into this season, it's certainly I'm feeling a little bit more positive that we always come to a season positive, but it's a little bit more refreshing to know that Deshaun's not starting the year. I don't know. You got somebody like Joe Flacco coming in that you think, he's a solid veteran, has been to the Super Bowl, played with the Ratbirds for years. By the way, what do you think of Deshaun Watson? I mean, there's been this video circulating. I don't know if you, well, okay. I know, like they've said that ship has sailed, and yet he's posting videos from the Cleveland, Berea, even today, showing his rehab, and it's like, dude, it's getting a lot of fans a little bit nervous again, and it's like
Mhm.
he's not going to play, right? I mean, they've got it planned out. The Browns have figured this out. He'll
Yeah.
go. He's on the pup list. He won't play this year, and I think is it next year? Then they can do something with his contract to let him walk.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
I think so. Yeah, that they can. There's something that they can do in 2027. I have to go back and read the contract, but
And that's
the
the last year, right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're building it. What do you think of the new dome? Are you excited about this new dome coming in 2029? What are your thoughts on that? I know you're
I
you
think it's a shame that you could spend millions of dollars on a stadium and they're outdated in 20 years. That just doesn't make sense to me. They have a beautiful stadium right now,
yes,
and yeah, I know you want the more modern stuff and you want to move into the next phase, but that stadium is what 20 years old,
yeah,
if
yeah.
that. That doesn't make sense to me.
20. I mean, they came back in 99, so 26 years. But yeah, I mean, people will say, well, it's built on a landfill and it's just time for a change, and I understand that, and I can agree with that some. It's we like new things. I mean, when the Indians finally left Municipal Stadium and they went into the Jacobs Field back in 1994, that was. Do you remember that experience? How that was for if you were? You followed the Indians a little bit, right? Baseball.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, it was just such a change going from that dreary Municipal Stadium where there
Yeah.
would be 5,000 people in there on a weeknight to go to Jacobs Field, and it just looked glorious. It looked like a scene out of a Hollywood movie.
Well,
So
I mean, it was a true baseball stadium as opposed to a makeshift, you know.
yes, yeah. Well, Harold, let's pause for a quick commercial break. This is the Johnny Cleveland podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network. We'll be right back. And we are here back with Harold Yarborough, our guest on the show here, the Johnny Cleveland podcast. And Harold and I have worked together. Harold has the longest running sports show in Central Ohio, 33 years, you said?
About 32. Now I don't have
32.
it. Voice Corps has it, but
Voice Corps, which is the radio for those that don't see. Um, Wonderful organization. I would anybody that would like to, Harold offered anybody would like to come down and do a show or a radio. That would be awesome. They also need volunteers to read the daily news and events from the from the newspapers, correct? And then they have other live events that they do. Is that correct,
I don't know
Harold?
if they're actively looking for volunteers now,
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't hurt to look into it if you're interested.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All
Can I
right,
touch on
Harold.
one?
We've got a big game. Oh, what was that?
I'm sorry, while we're still on the Browns thing, and can
Yes,
I touch on one thing right quick? Um,
absolutely.
when it comes to quarterbacks, Shador, I think, has this spotlight on him that shines bright enough that everybody's watching, even though under normal circumstances, nobody would be paying attention to him.
Yeah.
You know who the top rated NCAA passer was last year?
No.
Kyle McCord of Syracuse.
Really?
Yes, he was the top rated passer. And he went in the sixth round, the
Yep.
181st pick to Philadelphia. And nobody noticed and nobody cared.
And I
Shador
think
was Shador
Harold, he
was
got cut. I think he
yeah,
got
Shador was
released.
fourth rated, and he goes in the fifth round, and it's this broadcast news every day. Everybody's talking about it. It
Well,
doesn't
you
make
think of
sense.
the timing on everything that happened, the way that everything went down. Shador was projected as a first round pick. Many people projected that for months building up into the draft. It was him and Cam Ward.
And it
So
changed quick, didn't it?
it did. Were you surprised by that fall? I mean, do you agree with him being drafted in the fifth round, or were you surprised?
Um, I was surprised, yes, because it seemed like it happened fast. Now, their record last year, they were just over 500, right? If that.
Yeah.
So the record doesn't show greatness. Um, he
Hmm.
made some throws. Now you
42
wonder how much
sacks.
Travis Hunter made him look good.
Yes,
And you just wonder had he got away from his father through college, if that would have benefited him more with other coaching.
absolutely. Yeah. That dynamic, you always wonder, especially when you have that father son relationship, and it's prime time we're talking about. I mean, prime
Yeah.
time, Dion was the probably one of the top 10 greatest football players of all time, right? I mean, or
Hmm.
athletes. He
Hmm.
played baseball, he played football. I mean, you
Yep.
think about it, Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, some of these greats, and
Rare breed.
who?
A rare breed.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to live up to that. I've liked what I've seen from Shador and his attitude. I didn't like you said earlier, his demeanor and his body language in that game the other day. He was
Hmm.
very negative. So
One
hopefully,
other comparison I was thinking about, I don't know how much of a comparison this is, but Quinn Ewers of Texas,
yes.
he was pretty highly touted too. But he was in the draft, and he was rated 14th coming out of college. He went
Okay.
in the seventh round, the 231st pick, and nobody seems to notice.
And some people had him initially like a year ago before the draft all happened. I remember having this discussion with another couple of us here on the Fanatical Elves. He was projected to be like one of the top quarterbacks to be picked.
Yeah,
So that
yep,
all flipped.
yep.
Wow.
So that Sanders spotlight, I don't think is helping him at all.
Oh no.
And
Yeah.
as cool as he may be about it, it's got to affect you. It's got to.
Sure. Well, I think it's got to be humbling, right, Harold? I mean, as a 23-year-old kid, I mean, I think back to what I was doing when I was in my early 20s. We think about how we would have responded. I mean, can you imagine having that spotlight and having the father? I mean, all of that, the pressures.
Yeah,
Star athlete. These athletes already put enough pressure on themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
So
I know
wow.
exactly what
Well,
you mean.
talking about a pressure situation here, Harold, the Buckeyes welcome the Texas Longhorns to Columbus here. Are you planning a? Well, I know you have the show Saturday morning, which I wish I could make it, but I've got other things, other commitments, so we'll do it another time. But
Okay.
are you have other plans for that game? Are you going to be tailgating? Are you going to go down to the stadium?
I'll be right here on the couch watching, buddy. Although she wants to go down for the hoopla and see all the, you know,
Yes.
all the stuff, which might be pretty neat. But that means I have to park somewhere and work for 40 minutes, and then
Yeah.
go
What's the
somewhere.
hoopla that she'd be interested in? Because my wife and I were also talking about that. We were because my one of my kids are they're going to be down there for some tailgating. What is she interested
Well,
in?
with game day being in town,
Yes,
with all that, with the Lee Corso stuff and all that, it's going to be crazy down
it is
there.
going to be
Absolutely crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and here you know that I mean Harold, people that are listening to us outside of Columbus or other places, if you don't know this, I mean Columbus is all about Ohio State. So
Yep.
Ohio State is God here in the state of Ohio, and especially in Columbus. Columbus treats the Buckeyes like a professional NFL team. Many days the sports coverage is constant with Ohio State material.
Yep.
So it's going to be a good game. What do you suspect? Because I think didn't the Buckeyes played the Longhorns in the semifinal game last year? We beat them,
Hmm.
correct? Yes, because we made
Yeah,
it.
but both teams have new quarterbacks. Both teams lost players. I have no idea what we got this year. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we've got a lot of new. Yeah. Now I know my colleague that I work with over at Licking Heights. Her son uh, plays is one of the players on the team. He's not. Um, I don't know what his position is. I know they had all their practices and everything, and I think he's played defense, but I think he was no he's on the offensive line, and I think he's played tackle, but I think they're removing the guard.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of the young man's last name. Um, but anyway, I'm not sure if he'll what's going on with him, but I know that it's just such a big game. The atmosphere should be electric. The cost of tickets is ginormous. So, and it's only the start of the season. I mean, if either one of these teams loses, whoever loses, it's not like they're going to be out of the college playoff picture.
Yeah.
So, who is the quarterback for the Buckeyes now? Who is this? Do we know who?
Julian Sand.
Julian Sands.
He Sayin. He was actually the choice of shoot Alabama.
Oh,
Nick Saban before he left.
okay.
And he went to Alabama, and then Saban left, so he switched schools and came to work under Ryan Day at Ohio State.
All right.
Otherwise, he'd still be down in Alabama probably. So yeah,
Well,
I'll be interested to see exactly how well he plays. He's got an arm on him,
yeah. Well, we
so we'll
speak.
see.
Think about like last year with the quarterback situation. Will Howard. Will Howard got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 6th round. Now he injured himself. Did you see that? He like a broken ankle or something like that.
I thought it was in his hand or something, a
Is it
finger
in
or
his
something.
hand? Okay.
I want to say it's a finger, but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I,
That'll
I
be
don't think he
interesting.
got to play at all.
What?
I don't think he got
Yes.
to play at all in the
Yeah.
preseason.
Oh, by the way, did you see that? Maybe you didn't catch this. Did you see the fight between the parent and the son between the K State playing when they played Iowa State
No,
over in Dublin, Ireland this weekend?
no.
Those of you who don't know, or maybe you follow my programming here on the Johnny Cleveland podcast, little tidbit here, Harold. The quarterback for the Kansas State Wildcats is Avery Johnson. Avery is the one who's been quarterbacking there, and it's the reason why Will Howard left Kansas State to then go to Ohio State last year. Avery comes from a big family of. He's the youngest in the family, and he has several older siblings who also played sports over the years. And I happened to coach Avery when he was a basketball player when he was in 7th grade in middle
Oh wow.
school back in Wichita, Kansas. Really not good kid and fun times, and just I really um, pull for him and hope that he does well. But unfortunately, it made quite the circulation across the globe. His father and Avery's older brother, Anthony, got into a huge brawl on the streets of Dublin, Ireland after the game.
Wow.
And they've since then come out with an apology. I didn't know if you caught it because it was all over social media, but it was very sad. And I just hope that things get situated for Avery's sake. It's very embarrassing to him, obviously. Um, I've known the family for years. A lot of my colleagues have too over the years back there in Wichita, and it's just unfortunate because things could have been handled a lot differently probably. But I didn't know if you saw that
Wow.
whole.
I did not see that.
Yeah, so I
Why are
hope
they
they can
playing
get
over there anyway? I can
right.
understand it
Yeah.
at the pros, but
Well, and I'm a
college.
case. I think the global, spreading the love, spreading, football across the globe. I've heard all sorts of stories. I mean, I've heard the NFL is considering putting the team over in Europe permanently. Like,
Well, the NFL is a little different.
okay,
They're pros and they're in it for the money. But college is all about the college atmosphere.
yes,
You can't have that if you're in Ireland, particularly when they had this little question and answer thing before the game started, where the reporter was going around the streets of Ireland asking them what they knew about football. They didn't know anything about it. Absolutely nothing.
oh man,
Now, that might have been the ones they were asking. Of course, maybe
right,
everybody else knew,
right.
but it
Well,
was just
it's
ridiculous.
yeah, it's a lot to keep track of too. Like when I found out that they were playing in Ireland, I'm like, what? Like I said the same thing. It's like, why are they over there in Ireland?
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
Well, Harold, it's very nice to have you on the program. Again, give everybody let people know where you they can hear you again.
We are on VoiceCore. It's www.voicecore. It's actually corpse, corps.org. And you can listen to the programming 24 hours a day. You can certainly tune in and check out our program on Saturday mornings from 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock. And we always invite people to come down and co-host with us to talk sports. So if you're into sports or you think you're the next coming of whoever it is, we got a seat for you. Get in touch with John. He'll get in touch with me, and we'll get you on one Saturday.
That would be wonderful. I appreciate the people that helped me get in touch with you over the years. I really have enjoyed doing the shows with you and meeting other co-hosts over the
Hmm.
last several years. It's been a lot of fun. So I always enjoy talking to Harold about sports, and he's a plethora of knowledge across all spans of sports. So please tune in if you can. And they also have your programs. If you ever go to voicecore.org, they have a, what do they call it? Like an all the previous shows, a library of the show. So if you want to
Yeah.
listen to it on delay, if I want to go back and listen to when I was on the show with Harold, and if I sounded silly or stupid, I can find out if I go to that library. So, um, but I've always enjoyed it. And just if you're don't aren't aware of what VoiceCore is, check it out. Check out their website. Just a great thing out there. So, Harold, appreciate your time. Final
Thank
thoughts
you.
on this afternoon or this evening?
Hey, it's the second most wonderful time of the year, the start of football season. Let's go.
Let's go.
When basketball is over with, there's that period where you wait on football to start up. We're here.
Yes. Yeah, we're here and we love
Yep.
it. Everybody, thanks again for tuning in to the Johnny Cleveland podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network. Have a great night. Go Brownies, go Buckeyes, and remember to keep smiling.